Hello everybody, so it's the end of a COVID week for me. Got through loads of the tissues. I'm sure many of you who've had COVID recently will be familiar with that, and it's interesting how your life comes down to be something more simple. So Julia and I, it's a bit like a throwback to lockdown. At the end of each day we were allowed to go for a little walk, and even last night actually there was something really great. There was the moon had got really crescent shaped and was just next to a tree, and Ruth and others who are better photographers than me would have made something of that. And it was interesting because it reminded me, within our lives at the moment, maybe we need to simplify things a bit, and actually the appreciation of that walk and the appreciation of that sort of image were held very strongly with me. And one of the things that we're trying to do at Faithworks is to talk to people about Simply Christmas, ways in which we can make Christmas a bit simpler. I was thinking of the Smile team was saying that there's going to be an event at St James's soon where kids are going to be able to pick a present to give to their mums. And they're going to wrap them, but they're not going to go and buy some wrapping paper. They're actually going to take brown paper and they're going to stencil things on it or draw on them and make it a really sort of special homemade thing. And, it's a trivial, small example. I'm sure you can do better than that. But it'd be great if we do have things where we can say, actually, here's some ways that you can make Christmas a little bit simpler this year so you're not drowning in the cost of living stuff. So I'm sure you can do better than that. And give us a shout, give Ruth a shout, Candice or myself a shout if you've got a story that we could actually put into some social media there. And talking of social media, there's been some really nice stories coming out. We're putting them into the bottom of the website. There's news channels across each of the web pages, and we want to keep adding more and more into that because it's great. You get the stories there, which we can then put into social media, which drive more people to actually look at what we're doing and get a better understanding of the breadth of stuff that you all do. So what have we had this week? We've had we turned Tracy's video about all that's coming up at Christchurch Food Bank into a blog, which we can use to bounce some more social media. We've got the survey that Rachel and the team did with the mums. Again, some really interesting results coming out of that. So 60% of them are saying that Smile helps with at least 2 out of the 3 biggest issues that they're facing. We've got Jill's thing that she did around Jimmy's Community Day, which is coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And so again, we've got a blog around that. And there's something about the doorstop shop, which is just reopening online. So all these things really help to get messages out to people, build some great social media posts. And we did one about the Blandford and Wimborne 10-year things. That's got some great follow-up, and great to see Blandford are bouncing that on through their social media, which has again been picked up. So all of this just generates interest and generates people who are getting better to know what we do, but B, may respond in different ways in terms of knowing where to get help, knowing how to help in terms of volunteering. It might help in terms of funding. So all around a good thing to do. By the way, just talking about comms, certainly in BCP, the council have put together their sort of winter resilience offer, and I'll share the link with you in the email version of this, so you've got that, and we'll check out what Dorset are doing. And you'll have seen the email last week I sent out, which is about if anybody asks you about warm safe spaces, particularly churches offering to do that. We're trying to coordinate all of that. David and I had a really fruitful meeting in the last week or so with other churches about the We're Here network, and we're really trying to help people get trained up in how they respond to welcoming people into churches. So this week, what have we got? Well, we've got I'm going to put out a volunteer vlog, another little video to all our volunteers. We did one last month, and we want to keep that rolling. And part of that will be about we're going to have a really simple little survey to all of our volunteers, which says, what do you think about the way that you're supported as a volunteer? And what do you think about the support we give to our clients and individuals? And just get their views on stuff, and then we can start to respond to that in future vlogs. We got the interviews up in Blandford for the Nourish shop, the community shop there. So that's the interviews for the manager there on Tuesday. So please pray that we get just a brilliant candidates for that. We've got a health summit, a homeless health summit in BCP land, which is really important because there's St Stephen's stuff. We're trying to get a health and housing hub there. We're going to provide the front door, the welcome. So Claire and David moving down from half time to provide that front door. just desperate to get that going. But it's really important we link in with all the local statutory services. So that's going to be a full day on Wednesday. And then down in CMA land, we've got a compliance visit from Debs, our regional manager, and that's just really important because of course we're overseen by the FCA, the Financial Compliance Agency. I think it's that FCA, anyway, whatever it stands for. So think of them because they've got to get all the stuff ready for that. And by the by, the sponsorship I did, well, if you take the number of, because we've got a couple of extra people who are giving regularly, and a little bit of match on that. So if you take the whole for a whole year, then it's just gone over the £1,000. So 1,030 coming in for CMA land, which is great. Anyway, keeping it simple, trying to get rid of coughs and colds and not spreading them around. But there's a verse that really helps me when I'm thinking about keeping it simple, which is from the end of Hebrews. And it says, let's throw off everything that hinders, the sin that so easily entangles, and let's run with perseverance the race marked out for us. I'm not doing much running at the moment, I have to say. But let's fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. That's good advice. Have a good week, folks. Thanks for all you're doing.